We have the honor to be here today with Rabbi Yosef Mizrachi. Rabbi, with all the Arabs screaming Free Palestine and asking for the Jews to leave Israel, what does Free Palestine really mean?
It's one of the biggest scams in the history of the world. There's no such thing, Palestine. It's a whole made-up name. The name Palestine was given to the Holy Land by the Romans 2,000 years ago as a punishment to the Jews. The reason the Romans named Israel Palestine 2,000 years ago is because they named it after the Philistines, which was a whole different nation. It's nothing to do with the Arabs. The nation that Shimshon the prophet was fighting them. They were in the place of Gaza, in those areas where the Arabs today are. This was a different nation. And now the Palestinians in 1964, the help of the liberal lefty Jews, who unfortunately all the problems we have comes from them, if you didn't realize it by now. They are the one who encouraged them to use that name, because the British also called it Palestina after the Romans. And when the British, which were not exactly crazy about us, together with the Arabs that lived there from Syria, Iraq, from Lebanon, from other countries, all of a sudden they decided to use the name Palestinian after the Philistines, after the Romans who named Israel Palestine, and after the British who adopted that name. But there's no such a nation, Palestinians. They don't have a history, they never had an anthem, they never had a representative in the United Nations, and they don't have even one history book. Not in their entire history. There's nothing. Why? Because there's a bunch of different Arabs from different countries who came to Israel or lived in Israel on and off, and they just all of a sudden became a nation called Palestinians, which according to our sources, among them there are many Amalekim. Amalek, the worst nation in history that God hates so much. It's inside these kind of Arabs that lives, as you can see in Gaza. They're worse than the Nazis, willing to suffer, to be destroyed, to lose their children, to lose their money just to kill one Jew. And the Nazis never agreed to suffer in order to kill Jews. Would love to kill Jews as long as they don't have to sacrifice anything. If a Nazi would have to give his hand in order for him to kill 100,000 Jews, he will never agree. Any one of these Palestinians, those that behaves like the devil, if you tell them, would you sacrifice your hand in order for you to kill a Jew? He would say, not only my hand, I rather die and my children will die just to kill one Jew. That's never happened in history, something like this. Willing to take all the suffering in the world just to hurt a Jew. And the Nazis were not like that. They are the worst devil the world have ever seen. You can see ISIS, this, Hamas, all made up from the same thing. Fortunately, this is what we have to deal with. The good news is that in the end, when it's all be over, there will be happy days. That's what we say, Azi male sechok pinu. When the time comes, when Mashiach comes, will be Bet HaMikdash, and Mashiach will get rid of all these evil people and all the other wicked people from other nations. We will finally be free and clear and happy, rejoicing together with Hashem and His Mashiach.
And what about when they say that Israel is committing genocide?
Israel is not committing any genocide. Israel is responding to a horrible attack against it. It's self-defense. Someone come to kill you and you killed him first. Nobody can come and say that you are the murderer. The murderer is the one who was on the way to kill you. The good luck is that you were able to kill him first. That's simple common sense, and everybody that say that knows it. You know why the whole world is now speaking against Israel? Not because they are pro-Arabs or pro-Palestinian. They suffer from them in every country. All the security measurement, all the suffering, all the checking in the flights, all these delays, all these security problems, it's all because of them. So the Europeans are suffering very much from them. Why all of a sudden there are so much nonsense, all of a sudden propaganda, people supporting them? Only for one reason, because they hate the Jews. It's nothing to do with the Palestinians. When the Arabs kill each other, nobody cared, nobody did anything. When the Russians killing Ukrainians, hundreds of thousands, or when Assad killed 500,000 Arabs in Syria, do you ever see anyone? Demonstrations all over the world, in colleges, on TV, on BBC? No. Why? When Arab kill Arab, it's fine. But when a Jew try to defend his life, killing a terrorist, all of a sudden it's a problem. Don't you see that that's racism 100%?
Chazak u'baruch. No more words.